social media platforms. So basically, I'm on IG, which is Instagram, at DeeJay Nikki 730. You can find me on Facebook at DeeJay Nikki Gilchrist. TikTok, I'm on DeeJay Nikki. Snapchat, DeeJay Nikki. YouTube, DeeJay Nikki. Lemonade, DeeJay Nikki. Pretty much, I'm on all social media platforms. DeeJay Nikki straight across.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna introduce you. So, oh yo, what's up? What's good with everybody? You already know what time it is. This is your boy AD from Push Your Independent Radio, where we push independent talent to the next level. I'm your host AD, and today we got a special guest in the building. Check this out. When we talk about DJs being the heartbeat of the culture, this next guest doesn't just spin records. She controls the energy, commands the room, and creates moments. Two-time award winner, DJ of the year. And let's make some noise for Miss DJ Nikki.
How y'all doing?
So where I'm gonna go is so pretty much what has your vibe been like lately? What does life look like right now for you?
So for me, life is looking amazing. I'm blessed, grateful. I can't complain about anything that has been transpiring in my environment. My experiences being out there with different promoters, different events, different crowds, and just having the experience with interacting with different people has been amazing. And I enjoy it because I am a people person. But other than that, I've been very busy, booked and busy, and I just really just enjoy everything that I have been doing. I have been DJing for the last 23 years, but I have been in the go-go industry as the only female DJ, holding it down for the last 4 years. And of course, my main base is Fast Eddie. Shout out to Los 100 Proof. He is the one who actually put me on. If it was not for him, I don't know where I would be right now as far as the go-go industry. I did not think that this would turn out to be as big as it has been for me for the last 4 years. I am just grateful for just meeting everybody that's really in the go-go industry and for people who have actually, booked me, reached out, the experiences with being all with all the different go-go bands at different events. And also, I do regular events as well, birthday parties, weddings, cookouts, anything you can name of, I do as well, because that's what I was doing from the beginning before I even got into the go-go industry as a DJ. Pretty much the go-go industry thing just for me, it just took a life of its own. I was not expecting it to be as big as it turned out to be. Like I said, Lowe's, shout out to Lowe's, he gave me the opportunity and I actually used one of his main DJ's board on that night for like 20 minutes and it wasn't even my show, it was a Rare Essence night because they was there every Friday at Fast Eddie's from since 2017. But I just went up there, I went every Friday just to see Essence, and I was sitting there, he was like, "You ready?" And I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean I'm ready?" I was in shock, so I went up there, did my thing, man, and shout out to DJ Tones, man, to this day for even letting me use his board, and the crazy part about it, it wasn't my board, you know what I mean?
Right.
And shout out to him, because he actually gave me my props. He was like, "Oh my gosh, how long have you been doing this?" And I told him, he was like, "You are amazing because for someone who's never used someone else's board before and able to do what you just did was amazing." So shout out to DJ Tones, man. Yes. So
Right.
that's where it all started.
So I know like with women out here in the industry, do you feel like even right now where you at in your status that people look at you a little different or like are they more like helpful to the point like, hey, we want to put her on stuff or do you feel like you're getting the opportunities that you need or you still feel like you have to put in some more work than guys that DJ?
To be honest, I'm just myself. I don't really have to put in anything, to be honest. It's like me, my personality, and how I'm very professional and how I interact with people speaks for itself. I've never had to come across in a situation to where they were like, "Oh, nah, you're not good enough," or "You're not working hard enough," or "You haven't proven yourself." No, it was just like, shout out to Lowe's once again. It's like he already knew my energy as just a person within myself. You know what I mean? And he just gave me that shot. And the type of guy Los is, he's fair, he's loyal. So he likes to give everyone a shot. You know what I mean?
Right.
So even when I started getting booked at these events and the go-go events, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, you got to prove yourself. You know what I mean? That type of vibe from any of these promoters. You know what I mean? They just booked me and I just did my thing. And at the end of the day, I'm just worried about if they're satisfied and in the crowd satisfied. But my main concern is, the promoters and, the venues and all that. As long as they're satisfied and then the crowd is satisfied, I'm cool with that. So I've never really got any bad feedback as far as like I had to work harder or it was just horrible or you just don't know what you're doing. Every event I have ever done, I have man, I'm trying to tell you, I have turned it out like it was like I was just sitting at home somewhere just doing my thing and
Right.
the amount of achievement that I have done with these events, I'm just proud of myself and my husband always tells me, he'd be like, you need to really just wear that badge sometimes. Like, you need to just pat yourself on the back. It's okay. Like, and that was really, if anything, that was really hard for me to even to accept and to acknowledge within myself. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
every time I do a show or an event, I'm always nervous.
You?
Sorry, I'm getting a little, I'm, sorry, but yes, yes, I get very nervous. I get really, really nervous. Every single event that I do or anyone that books me, I get really, really nervous. I'm like on 1,000 and I never understood that. And if you ever hear like Michael Jackson or Chris Brown,
Yeah.
they always say, man, before I get on that stage, I'd be so nervous or my anxiety just be on like 1,000. And I never understood it until I actually felt that. And
Yeah.
I understand it. And the crazy part about it, what it's all about is you don't want nothing to go wrong.
Right.
You want everything to be perfect. You want everything to go right. That's where the anxiety comes from. You know what I mean? And you just
Yeah.
don't know what you're going to run into when you get to that establishment, the venue, stadium, event. You just don't know what's going to happen. So that's where all that anxiety comes into play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because as being a drummer, sometimes at events, people like you really did your thing, but I'm nervous through, and people like, why are you nervous? I said, you just want to do your best, and you don't want nobody to have that look like you need to sit down look. And so it's like, people ask like, hey, like, you ain't gotta be nervous, just do your thing. But it's like I understand it because, you wanna when you have a brand and people respect what you're doing, you wanna go out there and give your best because you don't want that moment to be like, yeah, they gave their best, but they missed they didn't do this part. So um
Yeah.
like with you doing all this that you're doing, do you ever like take moments to just sit back and reflect on the accomplishments and where you at now?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, that is one thing I definitely do. I definitely go back and I research and watch where, I'll tweak if I have to tweak, or I'll look back and like, yeah, I could have did that a little different, or yeah, I did kind of mess up right there a little bit, or whatever. But the thing that gets me is people really don't even realize. Like, there's been times that I've been at an event and like I might have messed up somewhere on a mix or something, but you would never know. I would have never know, but I know myself. But
Right,
nobody come back like, oh man, you just this and that and the third. But there was one experience that I did it Encore Lounge one time. Now, this was a humble event because one of the DJs couldn't make it. So they
right.
called me and I had just got off work and everything. Mind you, I worked for UPS 24 years, y'all. So I just got off of work. I was already tired. So I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do it because this, shout out to DJ Jigga Man. He's one of the dudes and he gave me a call and he couldn't do it. So I was like, all right, bet. And Encore is like maybe 25 minutes from my house anyway. So that wasn't far. I went in the joint, did it, but there was a moment in one of my mixes that that I was kind of messing up. a little bit, like my blending was just off. And the only reason why I was off like that was because I was tired. I was
Yeah.
literally tired, standing on my feet, sorting packages for like 4 hours and then
Right.
coming in here and standing for another 4 hours. You know what I mean? Trying to transition and fast like that. So there are moments where I do catch myself. You know what I mean?
So with so we're gonna talk about women because a lot of women trying to get a break out here, and some of them feel like they're not getting where they need to get because either being a woman or they have to go through so much more than men in some instances. So I would like to ask, like, what advice would you give the indie artist woman that's out here that's trying to get a name for themselves? They might feel like that the men are getting ahead, and they gotta struggle to get to where they gotta be at. So, what advice like would you give a like some female artist that came up to you and it's like, how are you doing it?
Oh man. So I would basically tell them, look, keep number one thing is to keep doing you. Keep being yourself. Don't go out here and try to be something that you're not. Definitely don't do that. Even if you get a no or a turn down, keep on pushing. Branding, promoting, all of that is like 90% of who you are. That's number one with anything that you do. The branding, you have to get out here and you have to network. You have to reach out to people. It takes time to knock down them doors, believe it or not. But at the same time, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Who you know? Yeah,
And you have to be at the right place at the right time for that moment to even present itself.
right,
You know what I mean? And relationships too with who you are networking with is very, very important because you never know where that can take you. Again, it's been shown for me that because I already had a relationship and real cool, relationship with Los and supporting him in all his events since 2017 at Fast Eddie's, like I said, it's all about who you know.
right,
And that moment presents itself. And this whole time that I'm going out to these go-go's and supporting different people and just having a good time, nobody knew I was a DJ. Nobody knew. That's the crazy part about it. Ain't nobody know. You don't know unless you speak it.
right,
Like, hey, you could just be in a random conversation. I tell people that all the time. You could just be talking to somebody. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I do nails. Hey, I do hair. Hey, I'm a tattoo artist. You know, hey, I sing. Hey, I got some music on the side. Don't be afraid to speak up about your talents and what you do. There's nothing wrong with that. And when it is being presented, you just never know who's going to fall into and what lap it's going to sit in and what it might do. And it's just like these artists out here. And I'm going to say it just like that. I have a full DMV artist crate in my DJ equipment, okay?
hmm
And every time I'm doing anything, I don't care, even if I'm on TikTok, anything, it don't matter. I'm always mixing DMV artist music into my repertoire because here in DMV, these DMV artists do not get recognized enough. That's just what I have experienced because I am a DJ and being out here in these different events, they're not being recognized enough. So when these artists that I have relationships with and built relationships with over the years because I'm in the go-go industry, guess what happens? They inbox me, they email me their music because they know I'm gonna play it. That's
right,
that's one thing about me as a female DJ that I am different from a lot of people that I know as far as DJs. I will play DMV artist music with no hesitation. You don't have to pay me, you don't have to tip me, you don't have to do anything. Prime example, Ziggy Brown. Shout out to Ziggy Brown. He's an artist that has came to support me at every single Bounce Beat Go Go event, every second Saturday at Fast Studies. I did not know that he is a host. I did not know that he was a rap artist until one day he had a conversation with me. And ever since we had that conversation, I bought his album
Mhm.
off iTunes. I sure did. Bought it. And every time T.O.B., before they will come on their set and they played second, I will always rock his music. People need to understand that. You need to support and play other people, artists' music, whether you're from Chicago, whether you're from New York, whether you're from down south somewhere. It's very important. And that is what makes DJ Nikki.
I like that, and you're not the first person who said that. I believe the same thing as even doing independent radio shows and all that and interviews. I feel like you should push your own first, then you go outside and you push everybody else. Because even with these interviews, I realized, hey, there's a lot of awesome people in the DMV that you like that people don't either push or they not may not be in the upper echelon of people in the DMV. So it's like, oh, we don't push it. But like I'm one of them type of people too. If you got it, I'm gonna push it. I had to realize that even doing shows and things like that, that sometimes it's not about what we like. So it might be a song that you push that somebody might be like, you might say, I don't know. Somebody listen to it, they get, a couple of likes and stuff, and then they put it in rotation. And I just feel like that in the DMV we should support more than what we do. I get a lot of the this why I don't support the DMV because they don't do whatever. I'm like, it's not always about that. Sometimes we all need the help and the support and for you to push the music, I commend that because a lot of people not doing that.
They not.
And
It's
even with the DJ I work with, Lipstick Nation, gave me an opportunity to be like, "Hey, I'll give you 2 shows and give you a couple of slots," and I was like, "I appreciate it because I had music just like you do," and I'm like, people like, "Man, I'm like, "Why are you sitting on your music?" And the first thing I hear is, "'Cause I don't know if it's gonna get played," and then they send it to me, like and I'm like, "This need to get played," and they're like, "Well, I don't know," so I same thing with me, I might send it to a show that happens on probably, like, Mondays, Tuesday where they highlight new artists, and some of the guys, they'd be like, "Yo, this music is fire." I'm like, "Thanks." I just wanna know, like, what 'cause I've had this talk with DMV. What is it that we could do better to help our own?
mm. Stop thinking me. Stop just focusing me, and start focusing more on let's get this together. Like let's get together and make something out of this amazing talent that we all have in the DMV area. That is the problem with the DMV area. The DMV area is so oversaturated. Be real with you. It's very oversaturated. And the problem with the DMV is that everybody wants to be number one in the DMV.
Right,
That is the problem. And when you're constantly trying to be the number one and not looking at it as we're all one together, you're not gonna make it far. And the problem with the DMV too is that when people are trying to get up out of here and doing their own thing, like making music, like we were just talking about, they start looking at them differently when they do make it. And Wale, and I'll say it again, he will always be a prime example of that.
right,
And it's sad that whenever you do make it out of the DMV like that, it just seems like they just don't want to mess with you. Like they just give you a cold shoulder. And it shouldn't be that way. You know, you should be supportive. Like, hey, we seen this brother come out of PG County who went to Largo High School, rapper, got talent, got signed to Rick Ross. and just did his thing and still coming back to the community when he does, and he gives back to the community, which he does with the kids and the youth and all that stuff,
Right.
and he puts on amazing shows. He gets criticized for it, you
Yeah.
know, and it's sad, and that is the problem with this area. It's really sad. It's like for some reason or another, people from the DMV don't want to see others level up. It's like they just want them to stay in one spot. And when they make it up, it becomes a huge problem. Then they start gatekeeping you because you went outside of the box when they didn't want you to go outside of the box from
Yeah.
in the first place. And it's just sad. It's truly sad. So it's like, again, when it comes to like these DJs in this area and things of that nature, shout out to all DJs, salute to all DJs because all
Yeah.
DJs are different. You know what I mean? But it's like, come on, man. Like, you can't sit here and dog a DJ because they're way up here and you're like down here, but they don't want you to be up here. They
Right.
want the other DJ to be up here, but they don't want this DJ to be up here because they want that DJ. It's crazy. It is crazy to me with this being such a male dominant category. I'm gonna say I'm
Uh-huh.
not even gonna say career. I'm gonna say category because at the end of the day, that's what they're doing. They're just making this a small category. They're putting people in these boxes as DJs, right? And they're not acknowledging other great DJs. I had this conversation the other day. People need to understand that you're not the one behind that board. You are not the one getting all this music every day. You're not the one supplying the equipment. You're not the one moving this crowd. You're not the one trying to please everybody, trying to make everybody happy with these events. You're not the one getting the phone calls. You're not the one out here burning your gas. You're not the one out here traveling, doing this, doing that as a DJ. Okay. And then you got these outside people who want to put these political critiques and opinions about, oh, who's the greatest and who ain't the greatest and who does this and who doesn't do that. And who are you? You know
Right.
what I mean? Who are you? So that part of this DJ stuff, it's like sometimes you just need to just close your mouth. Just close your mouth. Sometimes. Some people just sometimes need to do that. And another issue that I have with the DMV, as far as the DJs in general, that I have noticed is that one DJ will be like, oh, well, you don't scratch. That's a problem. Or you don't hit this button when you're supposed to. That's a problem. Or you don't have this type of board. That's a problem. Like, who are you? Like, who are you? Every DJ is different. Every DJ is different with their styles. Every DJ have different boards. Am I not correct on that?
Correct.
So, what does it matter to you if a person has a Pioneer supposed to a Ring? Who are you to say that a DJ has one of them small, tiny DJ boards compared to this big, giant, humongous boards you carry in the case? What I have learned is that it's not the size of the board and what type of board you had, it's the DJ behind that board.
Right.
And that's what makes me. I don't carry around them big boards. I used to, oh my gosh, when I first started, I was like, oh my God, I have to have me one of those. But because of what I do, and I'm moving around so much, I have the DJ Jazzy Jeff board, the one he made,
Right.
the gold and black one, right?
Right.
That's the one I carry around. I don't have no big giant rain or anything like that because when I go to these different establishments, there'd be like tiny areas. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't
Yeah.
fit this big rain, board in here.
Right.
But because I have that advantage, because I'm smart like that, my board fits anywhere. And even when I go team up with other DJs and they got these huge boards and they looking at me and I got this little small little toy, and then they think about it, they be like, "Oh, wow, that's actually smart. That's different." And it's not about the board, man. It's all about what you can do with that board.
So I have a question for you because I've heard a lot of DJs, even like a couple years ago, they would get mad at DJs because I know this is a new era because they had the boards back then. And
Mhm.
now I heard DJs was like, well, you're not really a real DJ if you come out there with just your Mac. And I'm like, what's the difference? So help me understand that part of it because I've heard that from DJs like, hey, if you don't have all the bells and whistles, like back in the 80s, 90s, then if you're doing it using a Mac and just showing up with your Mac, then that's not really true DJing.
No, that's not true because nowadays in this generation, it's all Serato. It's not the vinyl and all that stuff like that. Unless you go like to New York or something like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? If you're doing like one of them real DJ battling, I'm talking about scratching with the vinyl and everything
Yeah.
like that, then yeah, cool. But today's society, the way things are mapped out now, no, 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 because there's DJs that have been around for decades who started out with vinyl and they are using what we use now. So that is not true. And then there's a lot of DJs too that were doing the vinyl back then. That's why they buy the Rains because the Rains have that vinyl feel. The
Right.
Rain board. It has that vinyl feel. You ever seen them boards where you're playing the music and the toggle is just moving and just
Yeah.
circling? That is the vinyl, basically. It's like it's still giving you that feel, that look, and things of that nature. Now, if you want to go out here and spend like 2, 3 grand on that type of board just because you want that feel, be my guest of honor. Hey, I'm not mad at you. You know what I mean? So, but for me, like a board like that, that stays home. A board like that, I'm not
Right.
carrying that thing around. That stays at
Gotcha.
home for me to practice, have fun on the line, and just do my thing. But like I said, look, I'm proud of my little toy. I be killing it. I be tearing them up. I be tearing them up with that little thing. You hear me?
So what's your practice? What is a day in practice? Your practice technique looks like.
To be honest, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't practice.
Okay.
I don't practice. I can do this stuff in my head. I don't have to practice. Now the only time I really like pull my board out or something like that is if like I got time and I want to like go live or something like that.
Right.
Um, I, I used to go live a lot on TikTok. So a lot of that was practice to me too. You know what I mean? Like if I just want to do something like that. But as far as me turning it on and all that other stuff, the only time I really mess with that stuff is if I'm downloading new music, updating all my softwares on my laptops, making sure everything is still working and nothing's tweaking, making sure all my boards are working good. I always carry around 2 laptops, 2 sets of headphones, my hard drive, and I carry 2 boards with me.
Okay.
So I have backups everywhere and everything is updated. Everything. I update everything every week. So that's pretty much that is my practice right there. I just make sure everything's updated. I keep up with the music because I listen to music 7 days a week, 24
Right.
7, 7 days a week. I go to sleep listening to music. So but as far as me practicing, I don't practice.
Good.
I really don't.
Yeah, because I've listened to some of the stuff you did, and I'm like, man, she's amazing out here, and I hope that a lot of people, get on board and be like, hey, because I look at as being a poster myself and putting stuff out there, it amazes me sometimes that when you post, like even where you're at with what you're doing, I'm like, she's doing a lot in the area. She has shows, she got stuff coming up, and I'm like, it's 5, 6 people that like the page or like the post. And sometimes I ask myself, like, are the people out there like really supporting like they should? Or is it a trolling thing? Or is it, I'm gonna just see what she's doing, so I make a copy off what she's doing, but what you're doing is something that I feel like nobody can copy. They might try to think they can, but they don't. So like when you see that even on social media, how does that like make you feel? Does it bother you, or does it just be like, I'm just gonna keep moving how I move?
So again, like we were talking about before, as far as like the DMV, somebody's gonna copy something at the
Right.
end of the day. Somebody's gonna try to copy something, but it does kind of bother me because it's like I sit here and I do all this work. I'm creative and I stay in my own lane with it. And I'm not copying nobody else. I'm just doing me. And it just amazes me how when people come behind me, and I've actually seen some things to where like, wow, they actually starting to do this now. I ain't never seen nobody do that, but now all of a sudden they doing it now. And prime example. So like when I be taking photos and things of that nature, there is a stamp that I do in my photos. A lot of times I'll hold my headphones and, things like that of that. That's my stamp. That's just me. That's
Right.
my stamp. And one time I was scrolling and I happened to see a DJ and they did the exact same thing, but just they did it in a different environment, of course, different clothes. But now they have taken that and now they have it on every single flyer or picture or whatever they're doing. And I'm just like, okay. Then I ended up seeing someone else do the same kind of thing. And I'm just like, wow. It just amazes me how some people, they don't know how to be themselves.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's really sad. And I just look at it like, okay, they're one or two things. They're either they're inspired, they're motivated, or they're envy, jealousy, and they want to be me so bad, so they just take it and copy and paste. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I can't stop that. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen. It's just like with my DJing, you know. They're gonna copy. Somebody's gonna copy somewhere, and I can't stop that. There's
Right.
nothing I can do about it. But I look at it too. It's like, okay, I'm really out here inspiring people. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And bringing them out of their shell. They may have been shy about things of that nature. I have came across a couple of DJs that I know are sincere, and I know they're not just saying it just to be saying it. And I've had a couple of them come to me say, "Man, you're dope, man. Like for real. Like you have really motivated me, you've really inspired me to push my stuff as a DJ as well. And I love your style, I love what you do." I get a lot of that too. But best believe I know people are watching.
Yeah.
I know they're watching because it shows in a lot of my events and a lot of people will pop out there and be like, "Yeah, man, I've been watching you and man, you just be all over the place." And a lot of times I don't even know who these people are. So
Yeah.
I know they're watching, you know what I
Right.
mean? So it's expected. There's one girl said that she remembered me from like 10 years ago. And I'm like, "What do you mean 10 years ago?" She was like, "Girl,
Wow.
yeah," she said, "I've been watching you this whole time." And she's like, "I'm just so proud of you, girl. You doing your thing. Like, you out here holding it for the women and you keep doing your thing. I've been watching you just all over the place." And I'm like, okay.
That
But
that's good. Uh,
yeah,
I want to also ask you about, just to think about it. Like, how did it feel for you to be the two-time DJ of the year? What did that moment feel like for you?
it felt like a dream. I'm not going to lie to you. Remember the movie Selena?
That's one of my favorite movies.
Yes.
Hate the end though, but like the movie.
Yeah. So remember when J-Lo, you know, was sitting in the awards part and they were waiting for the name to be called. And remember, she closed her eyes
Yeah.
and she was up on the roof, the memory of her being a child.
Hmm.
and then when they said her name, she just lost it.
Right.
That's how I felt every single time when my name got called. Every single time. I just felt like I was in a dream. It just wasn't real, but it was real. And it just felt so good to even get recognized, just to be recognized. I was just happy to even be nominated. You know
Right.
what I mean? If anything, if I would have won or not, I was just grateful to just be nominated. And for me, that just shows that I'm appreciated out here and that people are watching,
Yeah.
and I have 4 daughters and 1 grandson. And the crazy part about it, they were there for me at the awards, and they can actually look up and see their mom, a woman in a male dominant scenery here, job, and just killing it. And
Yeah.
they're just so proud of me, and I'm proud of myself. So I'm gonna just take this journey and keep on riding it till God
I
says,
like.
"Hey, you know,
Yeah.
you've done your purpose in the world."
So to get to the process, what did it take that like the people that your fans didn't they don't see?
Say that one more time.
So what is it? What did it take you to get to where you were to that point, even to win the awards that that like sometimes people don't see like the other side of it?
Um, you mean just me not being a DJ, just being myself, or
Yeah.
um? Well, it's always been in me. It's always been there. My husband always said that because he was the DJ first before I was the DJ, and I'm more of the hype girl, like the party girl. Like I said, I just love the environment of being in a club. I love the lights. I love the sounds. My God, I used to go clubbing 24/7, 7 days a week. I just stayed in the club. And I love music. I'm very music inclined. I grew up on 80s rock music, believe it or not. I didn't first hear go-go until when I was in like middle school.
Right.
So my first go-go band I ever heard was Northeast Groovers. I'm originally from Annapolis, Maryland, but I grew up in this area all my life, but I have moved in between in different areas. So, with that being said, my number one passion that a lot of people don't know, and they're starting to realize it now, modeling. I've always wanted to be a model. And I used to go to like rehearsals and I used to go to auditions and all kinds of stuff. And it was like, oh, you got the look, but you're just too short. So back then it was like Naomi Campbell, Tyra Banks. You had to be, a
Yeah.
runway, a certain look, size, and all of that. Then also, I always wanted to be a sports commentator. So I always wanted to be on radio. So a lot of people don't know it. I'm big on poetry as well. I'm very outspoken. I'm very artistic, you know. And I love to dance. That's another thing. I love to dance. So all of that in that, and I love sports and I play sports as well. So with all of that I have going on, and I'm a tomboy at heart. Okay. All of that right there, every single thing that I have named is all embedded in all my daughters.
Nice.
They all have a piece of something at each age range. Like, wow, I used to do that. Wow, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It's crazy. It's like looking at myself at different ages. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that is a lot of things that a lot of people who don't know me don't know. They don't know a lot of that. They just be like, oh, it's Nikki. Oh, I love your energy. Da 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 da. But when they get to talking to me and being around me and things of that nature, they're like, oh my God, I did not know. That's the thing. A lot of people don't know, but the people who do know. But they're getting the DJ Nikki side now, but they
Right.
already know who I am. So it's like birth right by birth.
Yeah. I like that because I have a 15-year-old daughter and I look at her every time and so she plays violin. So she was like one day I was playing and she was like, oh, I want to get in the marching band because you play drums. I said, I was kind of a little touched. I almost shed a tear. But I was like, she seen me do what I'm doing now, and for her to want to get into the music game and do it like I told her, I said, hey, you play violin, like that's where your money is. So you go to school, you need to make you some money, go out there to one of these little venues, take your violin with you and play it. And she gets mad sometimes. I'm like, nah, I said, you gonna stick with it. I said, cause I had to stick with playing drums. So let that be your money and just learn and do what you gotta do with it. But it's good that when kids see what you're doing and they emulate it. That means that we doing a good thing out here. So I commend you because I know also as the women y'all make the sacrifices, and I guess how does that look in where you're at now by you have to make these sacrifices of going out and DJing and everything you're doing. Do you get the I know you get the support, but like how does that look for you? You have daughters, you have grandkids and all that.
It's I'm just motivated. And like my daughters told me the other day, they were like, "Mom, you wear a lot of hats. You really do." And they always say that I appreciate you. And they love what I'm doing. And they're watching. They're watching. Trust me, they are watching me. My daughter told me the other day, my 20-year-old actually, she's like, I'm gonna be wearing some of your clothes. I said, huh? She's like, be prepared. I'm taking your clothes. I said, what do you mean? Because I just love your clothes. I love your style. I just love everything about you, Mom. I'm taking your clothes. Like, girl, oh my gosh, it just amazes me. It really does. And I just love it. I truly love it because I know when it's all said and done, I know one of them is gonna want to be a DJ.
Right.
I already know it, and that's gonna be my 20-year-old because she is nothing but another split image of me, but just at a younger age. And yeah, she's a tomboy, and she loves media, and she loves playing her PlayStation. She's all on, YouTube and all that stuff like that. And she really, really, believe it or not, she doesn't really acknowledge it much that she got it from her mama, but a lot of her music that she listens to in her playlist, get it from her mama.
Yeah.
A lot of it, like a lot. I'm talking about like Eric B, Rock Kim, Run DMC, EPMD, Redman, Method Man, Nas, all of that. She, huh, let me tell you, she get it from her mama. Because one day she was like, Ma, I need you to share your rap list. I said, for what? She's like, don't be gatekeeping. Don't be gatekeeping. Because she said, what if I need to DJ one day? I said, okay. Boom. When she said that, she's
Yep.
watching. She's watching.
And
Yep.
and it, and the thing is with these kids now, even with mine, because I was listening to some stuff she was listening to, and I said, "You don't listen to none of y'all music now?" She said, "No." She listened to stuff back 2099, 2000, 05, 2010. I said, I was like, hey, she's like, well, I don't like this music now. I was like, okay. I said, long as you cool with it. But I was kind of like shocked. I was like, okay, well, they come into their own. And so really, really just amazed at like how kids just pay attention to what we're doing and like want to do what we're doing and will ask like how did you get to where you are and all that stuff. So it's good that you got your kids and they want to emulate what you're doing. I know one time on your page you was talking about your lock journey.
Uh-huh.
So is that part of like does that have anything to do with like with you DJing, with your journey of DJing or where we at with that?
No, that actually has nothing to do with DJing. The
Okay.
lock journey actually is something that I had really did a spiritual findings on that within myself because I was always trying to figure it out. Sometimes I'd be like, "Nah, I don't wanna do it," but then I was like, "Yeah, I wanna do it." Then I used to get, like, a lot of bad feedback about, "Nah, you shouldn't do it because your hair is so pretty, your texture's nice, it's not gonna lock, and you wear your hair in different ways, and I don't think it's gonna fit you," and all this other stuff. And I said, "You know what?" One day I just put my foot down and I did a serious, serious, serious prayer about it. And I disciplined myself. I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I never forget it. I did it January of 2024. And I do not regret it at all. I do not regret it because my lock journey has been very emotional. I have learned a lot of things about myself with my lock journey. And I have learned to embrace my African American side because I am biracial. And I grew up in the suburbs in the white area. My dad is white, my mom is African American. And I used to get teased a lot growing up.
Right,
So I never got to embrace my beauty of my hair. You know what I mean?
right,
In a way to where I'm not being teased. So starting at like age 20 is when I had so many different hairstyles all the way up to now
right,
that I have tried, I have done, I have experienced from colors to individual braids, to twists, to cornrows, to flat iron my hair. I even had a mohawk at one point. Like I cut my hair off twice short like Jada Pickett. I mean, I have been there, done that. So when I put my foot down with this right here,
right,
hmm, and it feels good to let somebody else take care of my hair and wash my hair and treat it like it's just a beautiful thing because it is. And I literally told my therapist that I'm going to go ahead and make a book and put every single hairstyle, color, a huge journey of everything that I've ever went through before I even decided to make my lock journey. I'm gonna make a book and it's gonna be nothing but pictures because I have so many of them, so people can actually understand and feel where I'm coming from with this.
yeah, I like that. I miss mine when I had mine as well. I was growing up for about 4 to 5 years, life changing, and had cut them off, but kind of wish I can go back to that, and but just continue to embrace the process because mine were it took long because I had straight hair and then I have 50 different textures of hair, but like I embraced the process and really as you said, learned a lot about myself as well. So about to hit you with a couple of rapid fires and then we're gonna close out.
Okay.
So what would be your dream venue to DJ at?
Oh man, my dream fit. Oh man. Woo! Woo, that's a good one. Um, I would definitely love to. Oh man, I definitely. Oh man, I think my biggest would be an NFL football game because I'm big on NFL. I'm a huge NFL fan. I love me some football. And
Who your
I've
team?
seen Dallas Cowboys.
I'm gonna have to cut this. I'm gonna have to definitely cut this one off real quick because I'm an Eagle fan.
Hey, salute to y'all, man. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. As long as you ain't say the other one, we good.
Oh
We
yeah, yeah.
good.
No, ain't no, no.
Yeah, yeah,
We good. We good.
yeah, we good.
Uh, yeah, cause I can see you at some Super Bowls, some big wig games and stuff. So yeah, we gonna
Yes.
whoever if y'all out there NFL, NBA, hey, we're gonna say hockey, whatever. Look this woman up. She definitely gonna put on a show for y'all. One song that always works.
Say that one more time.
One song that always works for you. Like what's your go to song?
My go-to song would be by Killer Cow, believe it or not. Killer Cow from Rare Essence, he has a song called Birthday. That is my go-to.
All right. All right. So one word that your supporters would use to describe you.
Empowerment,
I like it. And why empowerment?
because they feel like I got big energy, and when I come through the room, their energy just shifts, and I'm not even on the board yet.
All right. I like that. One more legacy. What do you want people to say about you?
Just basically everything that I've pretty much done in this community as far as being an amazing DJ, true person, good spirits, always got high energy, as they always say. Um, a party girl that just don't care and keeps it real, keeps it 100, and very lovable, caring, loyal, and has no cut cards.
All right. I like that. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give out? And also where can your fans and supporters find you at for any shows you got coming up?
Like I said, you can find me on Instagram. I post all my stuff on Instagram at DJ Nikki 730. You can also find me on Facebook as well as DJ Nikki Gilchrist. And also you can find me on TikTok. I'm heavy on there as well for any of my events anyways. But what was the other question?
Um Supporters. Do you have any upcoming events that you have?
Yeah, so I got one actually this Saturday coming up at the new Club 210. It's called the Ritz now. So Indian Head Highway. And Ziggy Brown will be hosting and he will be performing as well. Doors open at 9 p.m. It's 15 at the door. Also, I have every second Saturday at Fast Eddie's. You all know Bounce Beat. I'm with them every second Saturday there. I have a private event that I am doing on June the 6th is a birthday party that will be posting soon. It's an open, pretty much birthday party. Then there's a big announcement that I will be making, but I can't say anything right now. But
Right.
that will be taking place soon.
All right.
And just know y'all it's at Fast Eddie's. It's gonna be at Fast Eddie's. So just stay tuned for that. But May 9th, I will be at Fast Eddie's with Bounce Beat. It's gonna be a big glow party. Be there. And pretty much, yeah, I'm just gonna be all over the place. Y'all just gonna hit the flyers when I get the flyers. And May 16th, I'll be at Fast Eddie's from 4 to 8 for Love Jones events for we're celebrating his birthday. And yeah, I just got some things coming up, man. I got the third annual ladies host party coming
All
up
right.
for the postal workers at Five Sisters. That's May 30th. That flyer's already been dropped out, so you can check it on my page as well. Shout out
Okay.
to Mailman. But yeah, I got other things coming up. I just can't remember everything on top of my head.
All right. That's cool. Well,
But
y'all heard it here first. Be on the lookout for DJ Nikki. She got some good things coming up. So I ask that you support and just don't support to look for something, but support because that's what you should do. Because if you was on the other side, you want somebody to support you as well. So give the same respect that you would give that you want. So we about to head out. I appreciate the opportunity of us talking today. Shout out to DJ Nikki, two-time DJ of the year, making real noise and building real impact in the culture. Make sure y'all follow, tap in, and support. This is your boy AD coming from Pusher Independent Radio and Indie Heart. And we're out and we keep pushing.
yes,
All right. I
indeed.
appreciate you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for reaching out.
All right. No problem. Thank you for taking the opportunity.
Absolutely. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.